Hey everyone! Welcome to our 4th official MeOS Live. My name is Michael, and I'm one of the developers behind this operating system simulation game. It's been a minute, hasn't it? Almost a whole year has passed, but we have been really busy on, yet again, making one of the biggest updates yet. We won't keep you waiting, so let's get right into it. Before we begin, we know that many of you will be watching this presentation after the live stream. If you'd like to skip to updates to a specific part of MeOS, then check out the timestamp shown here. We'll mostly only be going over bigger changes brought on by this update, as it's once again pretty massive. However, for information on all the changes, feel free to look at the changelog with a detailed list of all fixes and features introduced. You might have noticed that the desktop looks very different from what you've seen before, and we'll definitely get into that. But let's first start with some news on our game, shall we? Let's start off by showing what's new with Gon Ball Rally. With some player feedback and other goals in mind, we have vastly improved the game feel for Gon Ball Rally. One of the most noticeable changes is the addition of more visual effects and sound effects. There are new effects for picking up power-ups and stars, using power-ups, and some other things like clicking buttons. We even added custom ground sound effects for different objects, like the mushrooms all over Shroom Garden. We also improved things like camera movement and moving ground physics. Being on moving ground has never felt better, and you keep your relative velocity much better after jumping off dynamic platforms. Also, as mentioned before, we are hard at work on the second playable world, Hazelands. It was conceived as an idea around the beginning of MeOS's development, and was quite ambitious. But we at least have had lots of technical improvements while getting ready to make the level components. We made good amounts of decorations, with some more possibly on the way, and improved the performance and handling of the level. It's meant to be big and almost explorable feeling, so we're excited to show it off when it has actual levels sometime soon. A less noticeable change, but an important one nonetheless, levels are now tied to progression. This was always intended, but only implemented in this update. But now you have to beat prior levels to get to the next ones. This also means that you actually have to find the entrances to the secret levels, making them even more of a fun challenge. While we can keep talking about all the improvements and behind the scenes work on Gon Ball Rally, we think it's time to move on to news on another exciting game in MeOS, Keyccordion Dawn. This time around, we wanted to focus much more on improving the user experience for our rhythm game, Keyccordion Dawn. We mainly touched upon improving certain menus, adding more options and settings, and other similar things. One of the main things we wanted to pay attention to, however, was also easing beginners who find the gameplay a little bit intimidating into a smoother introduction. We introduced practice mode and autoplay last time. But take a look at one of our new features. We are happy to introduce Wait Mode, a toggleable option in practice mode where the game waits for you to press the right keys before continuing. With this option enabled, you can take on even the most challenging songs at your own pace, until you are ready to take it on without breaks. You can even ease your experience by practicing on only one hand with Wait Mode first before proceeding to doing the same with both hands. There are now so many options to smoothly transition into more challenging gameplay, even when you don't have much experience in rhythm games. We are hoping that these changes make it more exciting to get into playing Keyccordion Dawn, regardless of your skill level with these kinds of games. And with 18 songs already in the game, we are excited to add so much more. But for now, let's take a look at what's been happening with Jump Wars. We're really happy to have been receiving positive feedback regarding our jumpy platform fighter, Jump Wars. While it wasn't the main focus of this update, we wanted to make sure to give you at least some cool new things for one of the most recognizable MeOS games. So for now, we'd like you to take a quick look at some of the new additions with this update.
A runabout. I'll steal it!
That's right, we got 5 new characters and for the first time in a while, a whopping 3 new stages. Every new character adds more uniqueness in both playstyle and appearance to our ever-expanding roster, now amounting to a total of 33 playable characters. 3 new stages also brings our total stage count to 14, giving you many different fun layouts to play and jump around on. Besides working on a lot of other things like CPU improvements and additional visual effects and sound effects, we have been working on making the menus more accessible with both the mouse-keyboard combo and controller. Certain things have been made more apparent and visible in the menus, as well as more controller shortcuts have been added, such as quitting a match with a combination of buttons to return to the main menu. While this is all for the big Jump Force changes this update, we are happy to say that we are already working on even more characters for the next update, as well as some other features and additions. So stay tuned and stay excited while we hop onto our next exciting news job for SP Struct. Some of you might have already seen our announcement about this already, but we have added all of the old assets from the original Guppy's Quest into the SP Struct Guppy's Quest level builder. After finally introducing packs in the last update, we felt like we could bring back all of what the original Guppy's Quest had over. This includes all the tiles, backgrounds, enemies, entities, and even playable characters. Not only can you play with much more assets now, but you can experience characters how they felt like in the older Guppy's Quest. Sure, visually they are pretty rough around the edges, as I was working on these assets when I was making Guppy's Quest as a solo project at 13 years old. However, they add a lot of fun into the mix, from their playstyle all the way to their functionality. There are differences between playing modern Guppy's Quest characters and old Guppy's Quest characters. While the old characters have only 3 moves, they have a different HUD overlay indicating that you can pick up crystals and even use super moves. This is in accordance with how they played in the old version of the game, where filling up the fuel meter would unlock a temporary buff to the character. Furthermore, some assets introduced in this game were never even seen before, as they were all either scrapped or not implemented back then. We have also worked on a lot of user experience improvements, such as menu cleanups and other fixes. We're definitely going to add much cleaner and exciting packs in the future, but we're just happy to show off how much you can build with as is already. For now though, let's take a peek at a small but fun addition to Zelomedia Splash. While there are a good amount of in-development games for the Zelomedia Splash collection we aren't ready to show yet, we wanted to show off one of the new additions called Murny Smash. As some of you may have already seen, Murny Smash is a spoof on those old hit the thing and see how far you can make it go games. You can smack one of 2 creatures with slightly different stats in bounciness and friction and use the trampolines and balloons on your way to help you get them really far. All the visuals in this game are actually pre-rendered in 3D and then compressed, to go for a very specific look and feel. And as a fun extra, the background music also syncs to the day and night cycle. We have much more Zelomedia Splash games just itching to be revealed, but they'll have to stay in the back just a little longer. So while we wait for that, why don't we pay attention to one of the biggest changes in MIUI? Let's head over to the desktop. The updates to the desktop and overall MIUI UI and experience are probably the biggest highlights of this release. And who would be better than Emily, my co-developer who has made all the visuals for the new UI, to talk about these exciting new changes?
There's a ton of stuff to show off, but we'll try to go over just the biggest changes. Let's get right into it. We are so excited to bring a massive UI overhaul to the latest MIUI update. Not only are the existing elements nicer and cleaner, but we also introduced a ton of features for ease of access and more. For example, the taskbar is now thinner and less in the way, and it retains all of its existing features while adding some new ones such as the Start button, Party button, and Master Volume controls. The Start menu is completely new and has shortcuts to commonly used programs and help functions. Not only that, but you can search for any game or program in the OS, and even categorize them by game or utility. The Party UI is another new feature. It shows you information on people currently in a party with you during online multiplayer, as well as other network details like your ping. As a server host, you can even kick and ban players very simply just from this menu alone. Keyccordion Chat got some cool visual upgrades as well, including a movable chat window, easier emote usage, and name color customization. A less visible but very important addition is that we added context menus. While only used for taskbar program buttons right now, their introduction opens up a lot of doors for more user experience improvements in the future. There's also a new settings app that has a ton of things, but we'll talk about that later. Another super exciting change we implemented is now you can swap between full screen applications without quitting them. This is massive, as previously, you can only have one full screen application open at a time, making this change a massive step towards a better OS-like feel. Aside from these functional changes and a ton of new backgrounds, we've also finally added animated cursors. Much more are on the way, but for now, check out these fun Jump Wars animated cursors you can get from the store. Certain apps related to the OS surfing experience also got some pretty massive overhauls, like NoteMe and VidX. These apps are now windowed and can be carried from the desktop to anywhere else in the OS. Both are resizable, cleaner, and easier than ever to use. There are so much more UI changes, and if you're interested in reading more about them, then definitely check out the changelog. But let's dial back real quick and talk about one of the previously mentioned additions, the Settings app. The new Settings app allows for tons of control and customization options. While we are still in progress of implementing things like language controls, we have made several improvements to how you can customize your OS experience with existing options as well as new ones. While previously you had to use the older personalized application to change these settings, you can now change the background, profile picture, and cursor from the Settings app with a much cleaner look, easier to navigate menus, and even previews. Some of the new customization options allow you to change things like how the time is displayed on your taskbar. And probably most exciting of all, you can set and customize screensavers. Currently, there are 2 screensavers you can pick out of many more to be revealed later, and you can customize things from how long the OS should wait before displaying them, to specific settings for how each screensaver should look. For example, you can change this 3D text screensaver to have different animation, speed, color, text, and so much more. It's exciting to think about what screensavers can come next to MIUI and how they can be customized. As you can tell, we focused a lot on personalization options for this update, and we hope to introduce many more. Maybe at this point, after so many years of development, you'd be interested in trying all of these things out for yourself. Well, about that, let's go over some news on the demo. For a while now, we've been talking about wanting to release a demo so that many of you can experience MiOS before the game becomes purchasable in stores. We're happy to let you know that we've been working on one, and we have a demo release date ready. But when will this come out? Let's take a look. We're super excited to announce that as of today, the demo is now available on Steam. There was a lot of talking about how much of the current full game the demo will include, and we felt that the best way to give you the ultimate taste of what MiOS has in store is by stuffing the demo with tons of content. We're hoping this will make just a trial version of the game feel explorable and bountiful. While a lot that you may come across in the demo is still in development, we hope you check it out and join our community to stay on top of the latest news for MiOS. But now that the demo is out, what's next for the game? Well, let's find out.
Once more, we are happy to have brought such a big update to MiOS. And furthermore, we are happy that you get to experience just a bit of it in the demo for the first time.
What do you think about the bigger emphasis on the OS feel this time? Would you like to see more customization and OS-like features to be prioritized more? Or are you more interested in the games and programs the OS has to offer?
We would love to know what you think, and in the meantime, we will be focusing on polishing off some of our longer-standing, bigger games while continuing to work more on games like Portal Dreams, Golf Dimensions, Sci-Ho, and any other games we will want to get into a more presentable state.
We're hoping to get some more worlds done for Gon Ball Rally, and focus on our 3D games, while delivering more content for games like Jump Wars and Keyccordion Dawn.
We'll be working more on the OS feel as well, while looking more into different customizability additions such as theming, screensavers, and more.
We definitely want to add more things that feel nostalgic, but also unique to MiOS as a whole.
As for the demo being released now, we're really hoping that our next update could potentially come out alongside a backing campaign.
We have some really fun ideas for backer rewards and stretch goals, even including bigger rewards that would potentially put your own custom content in the game. But we really need to build a bigger audience first.
While we will be doing our best to share the game around and try to market it in whichever ways we can, we'd like to say once again how much it helps when you guys share the game as well. Hopefully with your help, MiOS will get the traction it needs to make it to the next step.
We also have a Discord, where we often discuss the newest updates on MiOS, and just generally have fun with all the things related to the game. So make sure to join if you haven't yet.
Being on the Discord is not only a great way to see the latest news, but also provide feedback on things you'd like to see added or improved, and even steer the game a little in the direction you'd like.
For now, we'll continue trying to do our best with sharing the game around, and getting more eyes on our game before a campaign. But we're also going to be hard at work and adding even more exciting things.
And make sure to wishlist the game on Steam if you haven't yet. But for this presentation, that's gonna be it from us. What do you think? Let us know in the comments or our Discord. And as always, we hope to see you in the next MiOS Live. Bye!